Hey guys, Kill Lancer here. Want to another Kill Lancer Gaming? Don't forget the bell button, subscribe button to get notifications to my channel. Alright guys, we're back at GameRant. We got some new information here. March 31st, 2020. And that person is Namora. Namor. I'm just gonna call that person Nim. Alright. A history of Link leading up to Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. While Breath of the Wild 2 has the version of Link from the first game, Link's history as a character is still vast and complex. I have to agree with that. Although Link from the Legend of Zelda series is one of the most recognizable characters ever, with his typical green tunic, his elf ears, and his iconic scarf carrying the legendary Master Sword, it's still easy to forget the fact that each new Zelda game sometimes brings with it a refresh of all essential characters as fans know them. Indeed, Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf all have several iterations that represent different points and eras in the Legend of Zelda timeline. That isn't to say that the different versions of these characters have never made it outside their first game, though. That is true. While Nintendo does enjoy refreshing these characters with a new game every now and then, Zelda games that have served as sequels typically carry over the same characters from the preceding title, which is the case for the upcoming sequel, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. With the second Breath of the Wild coming out eventually, it's worth taking a look at how Link got to the point with retrospect that analyzes the many versions of Link throughout the iconic Nintendo franchise. Here's the history of Link as present by the official timeline of The Legend of Zelda. All right, let's look. All right, guys, we got this link right here, the beginning of the Zelda timeline. The first appearance of Link on the official Legend of Zelda timeline is from the Skyward Sword. But I do remember there was a manga that came out that was in the back of the special edition type of book where there was a Link before this Link. Okay, so in the game, Link is known to be a knight who has trained above the clouds on the floating island of Skyloft for as long as he can remember. Interestingly, while Link and Zelda have had a somewhat vaguely romantic relationship throughout the entire of the series, they are usually painted as just princess and her bodyguard. In Skyward Sword, however, it seems that Link actually loves her as more than just someone he's trying to protect, which motivates him to rescue her in the game. Okay, Skyward Sword Link also appears to be the taller side compared to the other iterations of Link throughout the series, especially Link from the Breath of the Wild. This would be due to the fact that he's from Skyloft, as the taller one is the easier they can potentially maneuver around the clouds. He is also able to masterfully pilot loft wings, the giant birds on the game. Link from the Minish Cap and four swords on the other land is teeny but anyone's standards. The Minish Cap, I remember that for the Game Boy Advance. I never played that one, but the four swords I did. The Minish Cap and four swords are another pair of games in which the characters from the first game appear in the second, with no Nintendo style refresh mixing things up. In these games, Link is a part of Minish people called the Picora by the Hyruleans, which are teeny mice-like people that inhabit the grasslands and various aspects of the forest. I didn't know that. Although he is the smallest Link of the franchise, he might also be the most powerful among them, at the least in the term of weight versus power. In his shrunken state, Link is able to dodge raindrops, destroy the body parts of bigger enemies, and can even lift objects that are severely several times his size. Wow. The most recognizable iteration of Link comes from Ocarina of Time, which falls at the base of the fork that splits the Legend of Zelda timeline into three separate lines. The Hero of Time, as he is generally referred to, has two forms in the game: Young Link and Adult Link. After Link removes the Master Sword from the Pestle of Time, He awakens 7 years later to find Hyrule in the grip of evil Ganondorf. Traveling between childhood and adulthood, Link must stop Ganondorf's evil ways once and for all, but the timeline shows how he might have failed. The hero is defeated timeline. I remember this. I think in Twilight Princess, that's the defeated timeline, I believe. I think that is. Okay. All right, there are a series of Legend of Zelda games that take place specifically after the alteration of timeline, where Link is defeated by Ganondorf, starting with the Link of the past. This version of Link appears to be the most experienced of them. Dope, as he is the protagonist of 4 Legend of Zelda games: A Link to the Past, Oracle of Seasons. Oh, dad, that's the same Link in Ages, and Link's Awakening. I didn't know that. Due to him being in all of these games, he has more than likely defeated the most number of enemies and bosses in the comparisons to the other versions of Link, and is therefore arguably the wayside. Okay. Wow. Okay. Taking place after those games are the original Legend of Zelda games for the NES, which I didn't know. That's practically the future. The Legend of Zelda and the Adventure of Link. Interesting, these 2 games mark the only time when the character is reincarnated with the release of a direct sequel. In the 2 games, Link ends up saving 2 different versions of Princess Zelda. Once when she was kidnapped by Ganon, and the second being when she was put into a deep slumber by the magician hired by the Prince of Hyrule, who also set the decree that all women born into the royal family of Hyrule must bear the name Zelda. Dang. Okay. The hero is successful. There are two timelines that follow the success of the Hero of Time after defeat of Ganondorf, the child and adult time. In the child time, after the events of Ocarina of Time, young Link goes on to start the events of Majora's Mask. I remember that, where he must utilize the different masks in order to shift into more capable forms, thus help the era of turmoil from impending destruction by the anger-faced moon. Interestingly, after the events of the game, young Link leaves Terma, never to be heard from again. His spirit would later transform into the hero's shape found in Twilight Princess. Yes, okay, yeah, that is the street sequel, which is after Majora's Mask, which is Twilight Princess. Okay. In that game, it's confirmed that young Link died and became the hero shade when Link of the game meets with him. Twilight Princess Link is also fairly strong, like the other versions of him, as he was able to lift the giant Goron with the relative ease. 4 swords. Adventures take place 100 years after Twilight Princess, and features Link in similar fashion as one found in the original 4 swords, which I had that for the Game Boy Advance, and me and my brother had it for the GameCube. The adult timeline is where Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks take place, while all 3 games feature the same cel-shaded style Link. Only the first 2 games feature the same characters. Spirit Tracks takes place 100 years after the 2 games. God, Wind Waker introduces the hero of the wind, and likely the youngest version of Link yet. Link and Zelda in these games have more of a platonic relationship than in the previous games. Okay, well, pretty much, guys, that was like the history, I guess, of all the iterations of Link, piecing together everything for the Breath of the Wild, which I'm pretty much excited for. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little small history, which I didn't think it was going to give us a whole log of this stuff right here, guys. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If this was too well-winded, guys, let me know as well. But anyway, don't forget the bell button, subscribe button to get the notification to my channel, guys. And guys, don't forget to comment. It's very, very important. This is Keel Lancer, and we got more.